give us a sense of how things are panning out, particularly the power and the energy side of things, given what we're witnessing in Ukraine and the fallout in the commodities complex?
Hi, Richard. Hi, Juliet. We do see an impact of the oil prices, and there is a mismatch in the supply scenario. So in the short term, there is a definite impact. But we do believe this is short term, and this is not going to be significantly long term.
Why do you believe that? And, you know, the thing is, it could spark off quite a lot of inflation in India, of course, being a net energy importer here. You know, that in itself must be of concern. So give us a sense of how much pricing power you have.
Well, I think, yes, there are some concerns on inflation, but the past track record of the current government suggests that they've managed inflation reasonably well. So even if there might be a little spike at this point in time, but if you look at a 6-month horizon, we do expect it to sort of balance out.
Sanjiv, I wanted to get your thoughts as well about expansion plans for the renewable energy business.
Well, I think India as a country is going very aggressive on the renewable energy business. We ourselves have a small portfolio at this point in time on renewable energy. But going forward, we will expand in distribution franchises with a focus on acquiring customers. And we will try and source our supplies from renewable power and renewable generation sources.
Is that a further move towards moving towards ESG? Because I understand you're not investing further in the thermal power business.
We are not investing at all in the thermal power business. It's a very conscious decision that the board has taken, and we will move towards much greater compliance on ESG. We do recognize it's a crying need, and we will be completely compliant.
Recently, when we look at the retail space as well, you've said you could have been more aggressive with Spencer. What did you mean by that?
Well, that was in response to a question which said we haven't grown as aggressively as some others. And we said, yes, theoretically, we could have been more aggressive. We could have taken more debt, but we preferred not to take debt. We preferred not to grow by debt. We preferred to go only by equity and internal accruals. And now that we've got a very good base, we are poised for a very aggressive expansion.
So, Sanjiv, okay, you say internal growth, but of course you're looking at inorganic growth here as well. What parts of your businesses do you see are ripe for consolidation here? And, you know, would they take the shape of bolt-on acquisitions or wholesale ones?
Well, I think in retail, we are certainly looking at acquisitions. Some months ago, we acquired a niche retail chain called Nature's Basket, which was focused in Mumbai. Since then, we've gone into Delhi and Kolkata. And that is something that's doing very well. It was loss-making. It's now started moving towards profitability. We will be looking at acquiring other chains and other backward integration in retail. We are looking at acquisitions in other space as well. So in power distribution companies, in franchises, we're definitely looking at acquiring. In the IT-enabled services space, we've acquired 3 companies in the last 12 months, and we will look to acquire more over the next 12 to 24 months.
So, Sanjiv, okay, just looking at retail, you know, what do you make of the competition? I mean, we've got Amazon and Reliance here very much at the fore. Is there room for players such as yourself in that? And would you need to have more critical mass in order to really take these guys on?
We definitely need to acquire more critical mass. We need to acquire greater scale. And that is why we are looking at inorganic growth in this area. And we would do that quite consciously.
Sanjiv, you have 45,000 plus employees worldwide. I'm just curious as to the disruption you saw because of the pandemic and what kind of further plans you have for expanding your workforce, if any.
Well, the pandemic definitely impacted us. But we were able to reach out to our people. We were able to make sure we didn't have significant layoffs. We were able to make sure that we gave them a comfortable environment to work from home. And now it is a time to actually refocus on growth, to refocus on investment. And this is the time that we are looking at growing, and therefore we would be looking to adding to our workforce.
Sanjiv, you spent close to $1 billion on getting the IPL team Lucknow Super Giants. They have their debut season, I'm being told by our producer, Kurian. This is not my expertise. What is the business outlook for that? Of course, this seems like something that you would have been buying as somewhat of a hobby here too.
No. You don't spend $1 billion on a hobby. This is a pure business decision. I do expect that over the next 3 to 5 years, this $1 billion will get converted into a minimum of $2 billion valuation. When we have more time, I could walk you through the numbers, but I'm fairly convinced on what I'm saying.